Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Tuesday morning. It seems that the St. Louis Cardinals were listening to our show yesterday when we were talking a little trash on their offense because they at least scored 5 runs in that game yesterday, right?
5 runs in the last 2 innings, and that is really saying something. They were down to the Arizona Diamondbacks 3-0 going into the latter stages of the game. Cardinals had, as the last 3 innings, the Cardinals scored 2 runs to get back into it in the 7th, tied the game in the 8th, and in the 9th inning, with the score tied 3-3, Nolan Gorman hit a walk-off 2-run homer. That is the Cardinals' first home run. They don't have very many. They were something like next to last in the major leagues in team home runs. Not that home runs are the end-all means, but they do help. And in this one, Nolan Gorman stuck one in the seats, 2-run homer, and the Cardinals get a 5-3 win. Needed it badly. They were on a losing streak. Now they get set to take on the Diamondbacks again tonight and then tomorrow afternoon and see what can happen. Now, the Cardinals haven't played very well. They're last in the National League Central Division, but they are certainly not too very far away from the Brewers and the Reds and some of the other teams in the Central Division. Cardinals can still get well. It's way, way too early to cash in anything at all, so you got to play them one at a time.
You absolutely got to do it. And, back to the reference of the home run thing, you want a small ball team. You don't want them just swinging for the fences every time.
I do. That's my style.
That's what I want. I mean, it's more consistent baseball, and those are the things you can control. It's been proven for, I don't even want to think about how many years. We talked about old Scotty winning the Masters, talked about his focus. Right now, I don't think there's any golfer that has that type of focus, or at least on his level of focus.
Not hardly. Scotty Scheffler is one of a kind. He is absolutely tearing up the courses in the last couple of weeks. Now, get this. Last 2 weeks, this is the Masters and the Heritage Classic, Scheffler's won $7,200,000. That's amazing. In the Masters, $3,600,000. In the Heritage Classic, $3,600,000. 4 of his last 5 starts he has won, and that matches the best record, 4 wins and 5 starts, set by Tiger Woods back about a little over a decade ago. This guy is really on a roll right now. He's interesting because he's not demonstrative. He's not thrusting his fist in the air. He just smiles and says, hey, it is what it is. He is the #1 golfer in the world, University of Texas product, and he plays the game very steady, very focused, and how you should play the game.
So, kids, listen to Uncle Ned. If you want to be a golfer one day, watch what Scotty Scheffler's been doing.
And don't do what Ned Reynolds does.
And
throwing the clubs.
Ned Reynolds plays tennis. Ned Reynolds doesn't play golf. Yeah, I think everybody knows that. And I'll tell you one thing, Ned Reynolds does not play hockey, but in the hockey playoffs, who were the victors yesterday?
Well, had the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is very interesting because they're playing in Boston, and they lead Boston 2-0 now in that Stanley Cup series. So the Toronto Maple Leafs get a win. The Carolina Hurricane also lead in their series over the New York Islanders, 2-0. Got a win last night. Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers all won last night to get things started. This is the Stanley Cup first round, and really interesting things happening. Unfortunately, St. Louis Blues are not in the thing, so we can't pull for them. But hey, hockey is what it is.
So we talked about the Cardinals a little bit last time we got together. What about the Kansas City Royals?
Kansas City is in a bit of a very mild slump. They played the Baltimore Orioles over the weekend, did get 1 win in that series. Now they're taking on the Toronto Blue Jays, who are just as hot as Baltimore. In fact, Toronto has won 7 of its last 9 games, including last night. Blue Jays had a 5-0 lead over the Royals. Kansas City showed some spark and came back, but not enough. And the Toronto Blue Jays get the win 5-3. Bo Bichette, remember when his dad played, Dante Bichette with the Colorado Rockies. Well, Bo Bichette is carrying the big lumber for Toronto. Toronto's a very good team. In fact, that American League East is really loaded. They've got some outstanding baseball teams.
When do the Missouri State Bears get back out on the field?
Well, they're playing tonight. They play tonight, weather permitting, up in Columbia, and this will be the return match with the Mizzou Tigers. Missouri came down here a week ago tonight and beat the Bears by a score of 6-2. And Missouri State, I should say, did not put up a great fight in this one. They were having trouble. But since then, the Bears have taken 2 out of 3 from Valparaiso. They are in the hunt in the Missouri Valley Conference for a playoff berth. 8 teams, 8 of the 10 make it in the Valley to the playoffs, and the Bears are number 8 at the moment. But this is a non-conference game. Doesn't make any difference except for bragging rights. Bears would love to go up to Columbia and stick it to the Tigers, and they do play tonight at 6 up in Columbia.
Yesterday, we had a bunch of action on the basketball court in the NBA playoffs. You surprised by some of those wins?
I am, because they happened in kind of storybook fashion. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are better than the Orlando Magic, and the Cavaliers won 96-86 last night. Philadelphia 76ers came from behind and had the lead over the New York Knicks. Led by 5 with 1 minute to go, and let it get away. At Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks 104, 76ers 101. Knicks lead that series 2-0. And then the reigning NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets, found themselves down by 20 to the Los Angeles Lakers, 20. This Nuggets team is pretty doggone good, but they can't keep doing this. Down by 20, came back, got the game tied, and then with virtually no time remaining, like none, half a second or something like that, Jamal Murray hit a fall-away jump shot with, I think, one of the Lakers defenders in his face, scored the basket and won it 101-99. Denver Nuggets get the win over the Los Angeles Lakers. Nuggets lead that series 2-0. Now they head to L.A. for the next 2.
Man, that's what you want to look like when you're going west, a little bit further than Denver, that is. Ned, you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.